So for those of you starting your core work, you're going to start with just the dog's forelimbs up on the disc. And we're going to start with gentle weight shifting. So as I'm giving Bug some treats, and she's moving on to her other level, I'm going to have her lift her head up, lift her head down, and while she's in this position, we're challenging both her forelimbs and her hind limbs. So we're getting a nice stretch of the hip flexors or the iliopsoas. We're also getting a nice stretch of her lower back. But we're also doing a lot of weight shifting. So while I move her head, or she moves her head up and down to get some treats, you can see the weight shifting that's occurring. We can also come behind the dog and put your palm of your hand on her greater trochanter, or the big hip bone, and just move her side to side. While she does this, we're getting some weight shifting. We can also move up to her shoulder blades or her scapula and do the same thing. Our goal is not to knock the dog over, but to shift her weight back and forth so she gets a nice weight shift. And we're working these large muscles of the shoulder blade, also the triceps. So just this is a nice exercise to do. You may notice when the dog gets tired, she may lay down with her forelimbs on the infinity, which is absolutely fine. You can continue to do some weight shifting there because we're still working these large muscles. And then for those of you that have just 2 pieces of equipment, you can start with this and then ask her to come up. So she can step up from there, and you may want to guide her a little bit and get her to stand up there. And I like however they get up, we're going to start with that. So sitting is an exercise as well. We can have her do some weight shifting while she's in sitting, and as you look at her hips, just this position and the weight shift is encouraging her body to work. So she's not really resting at all. As you can see by her panting, she's working. So I'm just manually providing a little bit of weight shifting. The infinity is stable against the wall and with the disc and with the wedge. And you want to make sure you're being as safe as possible. So I'm going to do this until she starts to fatigue and give her a little bit of a rest. And I can also, after her rest, encourage her to stand up and work on that balance. So we had talked about just standing on the ground. This is going to be a level up. Again, we're looking for that nice level top line and looking for even weight distribution on our forelimbs and our hind limbs. We're going to start with front feet up, and we're going to slowly come up to the infinity. And you can see Rosa's Bug is doing very well, stepping up. I'm going to have her hold some weight shifts. Every time she looks up, she transfers weight onto her rear. When she lowers her head, she transfers weight onto the forelimbs. And you'll notice she's keeping a nice level top line. All her weight is equally distributed on both forelimbs and both hind limbs. I'll have her take another step up. And I'm going to have her stand on here and get comfortable. We should see minimal shaking, and as she starts to get more comfortable, we'll see her bring her rear legs back, but we'll see that she's holding her top line. Go ahead and sit. And she sits and stands nicely. Everything is done slow and controlled. And now I'm going to ask her to move down. As she moves down, the last thing we want to do is have her move fast. This is working the eccentric contractions of the muscle. You can see her abdominals and her lower back working. So just as she's holding this position, it's excellent to work that core as well as increase more weight onto the forelimbs. We're also getting a lot of contractions of the iliopsoas. So I'll have her take another step down. Slow and controlled. Notice she has her harness on. And again, I can have her lift her head up, and she'll transfer more weight onto the rear. Head down will transfer weight onto the forelimbs. So we have that nice contraction. This is a little bit longer of a step down. We'll have her hold again. And again, you can see the work that's being done on that hind end, the contraction here on her hip flexors or iliopsoas and her abdominals, as well as the work on the forelimbs. And then we'll finish up, always slow and in control.